Well, good morning. How are you today? What are your plans for the day? Got anything exciting going anywhere? Interesting? Oh wait, yeah. Actually, I have to admit, I had an exciting day trip yesterday. I went to a funeral and 2 food banks. Amazing how expectations get changed by 8 days of lockdown. What made me think about what we really are hoping for. A couple of weeks ago, Boris raised our hopes, didn't he? And then realised that people started to take him seriously, and so he then had to scale back. And lots of other ministers came online saying, "Oh, it's not going to be that much different." And but it is nice to be a little bit freer to move around. But is the extent of our hopes really that we just get back to life as it was before? I kind of suspect that if I'd asked you how life was back in January, you'd have said that, yeah, so. Maybe some of you have been said quite good, others would have been aware of a whole lot of different issues. Was life as it was before really quite that wonderful thing that we've cracked it up to be? And what we hope for really matters, doesn't it? Because what we hope for determines really how we're going to live our lives. We are people who, to some extent, live for the future. Yeah, we're tempted to live in the past, but actually we all hope for something. Some people have got a picture sometime in their life of this perfect retirement home that they're going to have. This idyllic retirement. It's going to be in a beautiful place. Everything is going to be perfect. And that affects how they live their life. It affects choices they make. They're going to look for the best possible return for their pension money. They're going to invest in companies that look like they're going to offer a good return, like Equitable Life. And see where that one went. Or they're going to keep trying to go on holiday to places where they think about buying houses in these places they can't afford, or buy a timeshare, and it's going to control their life. Others hope for love. They're without a partner, and they think everything will be all right if only I could find just that perfect someone. And that leads them to dodgy dating sites, to one-night stands, sometimes to relationships involving emotional, physical abuse. So they think that just that relationship would solve it, and so they give up everything in common sense for the sake of that relationship. Or maybe it's not. Maybe they're not as unwise as that, but just that awareness that they've not got that special someone leads them to a dissatisfaction that just permeates all the rest of their lives. I was introduced a few years ago to a woman who lived quite close to where we were before. And the first time I met her, she explained that what I needed to do was to find her a husband. Now, what they didn't give me at theological college was a list of eligible bachelors, and so I wasn't quite sure what to say in response to this request. I suggested that maybe she'd like to get involved in some of the things we were doing, and she could meet some other people around. She was housebound, but if we got her out in a wheelchair, she would be able to be at things. She did come over to church a few times in the wheelchair later. But she said, "Oh no, I don't want to meet anyone from this estate. I want to meet a better man than that." At which point I was a bit nonplussed. Since I was working on that estate, that was pretty much all I could offer at that stage. But I did carry on seeing her from time to time. The friend had introduced me, asked me to go around again, and eventually I was able to introduce her to Jesus. And at that point something changed in her life. She died a couple of years ago, but I think she died happier than she could possibly have been, even if I had found a husband for her, which really, to be honest, was a bit implausible at the stage of life that she was at. Not impossible, of course, but she died happier because in Jesus she had found love. Jesus himself said, "Greater love has no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends." And that's what Jesus did. God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were sinners, Christ died for us. He is real love, love that would give up anything for us. And that longing for home too. The night before he died, Jesus said he was going to prepare a place for us. In my Father's house there are many rooms. I'm going there to prepare a place for you. Our longings for that perfect home, our longings for love, all find their fulfillment in Jesus. So today, what is it that you are hoping for? And where are you going to find it? A verse from the Bible says, "Why spend money on what is not bread, and your labour on what does not satisfy? Listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare." So may you find what you're really looking for. May you find it in the place that will truly satisfy. Have a great day today.